Okay, I'm going to work this equations and inequalities worksheet. We'll work a few problems, and then you'll do some other problems on your own. So the first thing we're going to do is number 1. See if I can zoom in. Okay, on number 1, the first thing that you want to do is you want to simplify this problem by dividing both sides by 2. When you do that, you're left with c minus 4 equals 12 divided by 2, which is 6. We're trying to isolate the variable here, and our variable is c, so we want to add 4 to each side. That gives us c is equal to 6 plus 4, which is 10. And of course, you can always check your answer by plugging this value back into the problem. So if I did that, I would have 2, 10 minus 4 equals 12. 10 minus 4 is 6. Multiply that by 2, and you get 12. So this answer is correct. Okay, we're going to work number 2. Okay, again, we can easily divide that 2 out. That works out perfectly. So we can, divides out perfectly. So we can have 8 plus p equals 22 divided by 2, which is 11. Again, we want to isolate the p, so we're going to subtract 8 from both sides. So p equals 3. And again, you can check your answer to make sure it's correct. Number 3, again, this 5 divides out nicely, so we're going to get rid of that 5. That leaves us with a minus 1 equals 7. We want to isolate the a, so we want to add 1 to each side. When we do that, we end up with a equals 8. And again, you can check your answer. Take 8 minus 1. That gives you 7 times 5, which is 35. I'm going to move down to the inequalities. Well, let's actually go back up. I'm sorry. You are going to work number 4, number 5, and number 6. I'm now going to work number 10 for you. Okay, so again, this 3 can divide out nicely, so we're going to divide by 3, divide by 3. Now, inequalities, if you remember, they're treated pretty much the same as equal signs unless you are dividing by a negative number. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, so we're left with x plus 2. Keep this inequality sign. 24 divided by 3 is 8. Subtract 2 from each side. X is less than or equal to 6. Number 11. Now this is a negative number. It divides out easily, but when you divide by a negative number, remember you have to flip your sign. So we have x minus 1 left, but our sign is going to go in the other direction since we are dividing by a negative number, and you get negative 4. Isolate the x, still the same thing, so we're going to add 1 to each side. So x is less than or equal to negative 3. Going to work number 12. Again, it divides out nicely, and we are dividing by a negative number, so therefore this inequality sign is going to flip. So we have x plus 2, move it into the other direction. 25 divided by negative 5 is negative 5. Isolate the x, so we need to get rid of the 2. We subtract 2 from each side. Therefore, we have x is less than -7. Okay, you are going to work number 13, 14, and 15. We're moving down to number 19. This is a review. Okay, so we are trying to isolate the t. So what we want to do is we want to cover that up. What else is in the way? The 11. It's being added, so in order to get rid of it, we have to subtract it on each side. So we're left with -7t equals 63. Then to isolate the t, we divide both sides by -7. So t is equal to -9. Okay, for number 20, we're still going to do the same thing. We want to isolate the x. So in other words, we have to get rid of that -4. So we're going to add 4 to each side. So now we have x over 2 equals 6. Now in order to get rid of this 2, we are going to multiply both sides by 2. The 2's cancel out, and that leaves us with x equals 12. Number 21, we want to isolate the a, so in order to get rid of that, we have to subtract 13. So 3a equals -42. Divide by 3 on both sides. A equals -14. Kind of ran into the other problem there. Okay, so now you guys are going to work number 22, 23, and 24. And notice 22, 23, and 24 all have inequality signs. The back side will be for Thursday.